had just woken up around 10 a.m. after going to sleep at around 7 a.m., grinding all the previous night, trying to get a very specific gun in Destiny 2. It was a very prestigious gun, and it was a gun that I really wanted because it was very powerful. So I spent all night grinding it, and I didn't get the gun because it's a very rare drop, you see. I went to sleep around 7, woke up at 10, and then I proceeded to do the exact same thing that I did the previous day. Just grind all day, into the night, into the morning, no sleep, to try and get the gun. And when I did finally receive the very all-powerful, mighty weapon, what did you think I felt? Did I feel happy with myself? I felt some sort of pride maybe, but really I felt empty inside. I felt nothing inside. The gun was fun to use, for sure, but I just wasted 3-4 days of my life getting barely any sleep, barely eating any food, not showering properly, just to get a new pixel on my screen that's better than a different set of pixels on my screen. I was a mess. If you were living my life back then, you would be depressed as well. But the saddest thing is I probably would have stayed on that video game path of just doing the terrible habits, never progressing myself in my life, never amounting to any of my dreams or my goals or my aspirations, going the mundane 9-to-5 life. Because the video gaming path, as sad as it made me, as terrible as it made me, it was somewhat comfortable. It was good to know that I never had to go through the pain or the stress of trying to aspire to my own goals and going through all those responsibilities, all those problems. I can just sit in my digital world and not really have any stress about the real world. Even though I hated my life, it was comfortable. How sick and twisted is that? Even though I hated my life and I wanted to aspire to be more, there was a good chance that I never would, because the terrible, sad, depressing life was somewhat comfortable. And choosing the uncomfortable path was obviously uncomfortable. Doing something that I really wanted, like recording my very first YouTube video, was so stressful. It took me 6 months before I recorded my first YouTube video from when I wanted to record my first YouTube video. It took 6 months because it was just that terrifying to put my face, to my voice out there and onto YouTube. But I still did it, and I only wish that I did it sooner because the fear that I felt, it was so massive, but it was actually like super small anyway. It's like when you step into a pond. It looks real big, it looks real menacing, it looks real intimidating, but when you put your foot in it, it's super shallow. It's like nothing. And to imagine that small amount of fear that looks real big stops a lot of people from living the life that they want to. Just that little discomfort is stopping them from going from a brokey to a millionaire, from a 9-to-5 to doing a business that they genuinely are passionate about. Now, whenever I'm living my life and I see something that's very discomforting, I take it as a sign of growth. Instead of looking at it as something scary, I look at it as a sign that I can improve myself. When I look at something that I feel scared to do, I look at it as a sign to test my skills, to test my abilities, to push myself to grow. And whenever I get comfortable doing something, including these YouTube videos, I know there's something that I need to change to become uncomfortable again. Because it's only when you're uncomfortable when you can grow. When you're comfortable, you're comfortable. You know how to do the thing, you almost memorize everything, how to do it. It's all muscle memory, it's all autopilot. But then when you're uncomfortable, it forces you to think, forces you to adapt, forces you to get better. That's the only way you're going to live up to all the dreams, all the big ambitious goals that you set for yourself. That's the way you're going to live a life where you're not depressed all the time or you're socially anxious. You're actually happy to wake up every day. That's the only way I found that I was able to cure my depression. So take it as a lesson. Be uncomfortable. You'll make a lot of progress the more uncomfortable you are. I'm releasing a free school community for young Muslims to talk about their mental health. Well, improve their mental health. I don't want you to just talk about depression all day, how terrible your life is. Hopefully you want to improve your mental health. So if you think that's interesting, links in the description. I'm going to have releasing a couple of free courses as well in there if that sounds interesting to you. It's completely free, no charge on you. Link in the description alongside the like button and the subscribe button.